the origin of trick or treating. Yeah, what's going on, party people? The place to be. I go by the name of the BK Podges, transmitting all the way live. New York is the city, Brooklyn is the borough. What's good? What's popping? Happy to see everybody here. Of course, we gotta say what's up to the party people in the chat. We got my main man, the Reverend Nick Quint, and of course, he's repping that Dodger blue from the West Side, and yeah, you know, you guys are looking good. Hopefully we'll be seeing you guys in the World Series. I mean, that's what I think is going to happen. But Prime Minister, Tigers are looking tough. I ain't gonna hold you. You guys yeah, you guys turned it around, man, and whew, you guys getting busy too. So, but I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be the Yankees and the Dodgers. So it is what it is. So if you have not yet already, please like, share, and subscribe. Please share this link. Tell a friend that's him again. And if you like how it goes down with the BK, you can show your appreciation by throwing a little digital coinage my way via PayPal, which is put in the top of the chat. And if you like how, you want to be a monthly supporter of BK, you can become a patron. You get an assortment of goodies to enhance your personal Bible study. Right. And so today, as we're steadily approaching, you know, the some major holidays throughout, I guess mainstream America, right? So it's October, so of course that means it's time for I guess pumpkin lattes and pumpkin everything, I guess, which is there's no way we have enough pumpkins to do all this stuff. Pumpkin pie, the spicy latte. There's just no way. There's some fudging going on. There's some chemical stuff going on. There's not enough pumpkins in the market. You know what I mean? It's just my 2 cents. But Halloween is quickly approaching, and of course with that we're going to hear the whole Halloween is pagan. So I did a couple of videos on it. I spoke about the druids as well. So I wanted to just to narrow down like some of the famous components of Halloween, right? And of course, one of the more famous parts of the holiday is trick or treating, right? Now, is this pagan? Does this come from some occultic, demonic origin? Right. That's what we're going to look at here. And in order to do that, we're going to look at this book called Trick or Treat: A History of Halloween by Lisa Martin. And it's gonna be a relatively short video. It's just a couple things I want to just share with you guys. And it says, "While it's tempting to draw connections between the New World institutionalized begging ritual and earlier Old World traditions such as the mass house-to-house performances of the Grulax or the Straw Boys, Gal Fawkes begging or souling, trick or treat probably sprang out of more recent antecedents. In New York City, Thanksgiving, now celebrated in the USA with a traditional turkey dinner on the fourth Thursday of November, was compared in the 1870s with Guy Fawkes Day. It had become a rowdy festival of thousands of boys organized in crews, similar to the Guy Fawkes crews who still parade in Lowe's each year, who were rewarded with gifts of money. Costume children were also recorded going from house to house and begging food. So we're looking at the timeline. We're looking at the origin of trick or treating, and right off the bat, of course, New York City once again with the craziness, right? Um, During Thanksgiving, you had these crews of boys, some of them dressed up in costumes, going to house, trying to get food and candy from adults. Even more similar to trick or treating was a Christmas custom called bell snickling, derived from a German mumming tradition known as Pelznickel. Belschnickeling was performed in the eastern areas of the USA and Canada and consisted of groups of costume participants moving from house to house, offering small tricks in exchange for treats of food and drink. In Nova Scotia, the Belschnickeling performers deliberately frighten young children who might be asked if they have been good before being rewarded with a treat. So as you see here, it's not, some demonic cosmic thing happening. It was a bunch of kids running around trying to get some food, basically, and having some fun, and pranks and whatnot. In one version of Bill Snickling, those whose house were visited by the costume revelers were required to guess the identities of the disguised guests and had to hand over a treat to anyone they couldn't identify. The same custom appears in some early descriptions of trick or treat, lending credence to the possibility that it derived from its Christmas cousin. So again, we're looking going as far back as we can to see where this phenomenon trick or treating comes from. And it seems like, there was some elements in the festivities that happened during Thanksgiving and in Christmas as well. In fact, the earliest recorded usage of the actual phrase trick or treat in connection with Halloween comes from Alberta, Canada, where in 1927, right? 1927, not during the Greco Roman Empire, not in the ancient Near East. No, Alberta, Canada, 1927, a newspaper article reported on pranksters demanding, quote, trick or treat at houses, although no mention of costuming is made. By the 1930s, the phrase in connection with Halloween and costume children seemed to be working its way down through the northern USA as states like Oregon reported that, quote, young goblins and ghosts employing modern shakedown methods successfully worked the trick or treat system. So again, it's kids out here hustling, trying to get a bag of candy, and doing pranks, as they go about trying to get their, gun drops and candy bars and whatnot. One of the first national mentions of trick or treat appears in an article of 1939. Again, look at the date, 1939. This is very much a modern phenomenon that started basically at the East Coast in Canada. Right? This is not based in antiquity. It's not based in the Greco-Roman Empire. The Phoenicians, Canaanite, none of that. Okay. Entitled "A Victim of the Window Soaping Brigade," which both refers to trick or treat as the age-old Halloween salutation and makes it plain that the practice was a method of subverting rowdy pranking. Still, it wasn't after the Second World War, when rationing was over and luxuries like candy were once again readily available, that trick or treat finally spread throughout the entire USA. So you have these various moments, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. You have this group of gangs of rowdy kids running around, some of them in costume, acting a fool, trying to get food and candy and causing pranks and getting in a lot of mischief and trouble. So the trick or treating thing actually was a way of trying to subvert and change that into something more wholesome than violence. Right? So it has no pagan occult thing. It's actually trying to curtail the violence of young kids running around New York and Canada, and then the rest of the world. Right? A trick or treat replaced pranking. It seemed that the day now belonged almost entirely to prepubescents. Adults might occasionally dress in costume for parties, but for the most part, they were expected to spend Halloween passing out candy to mass children. Okay? This is this was a way to kids still have some fun, but to take out the more dangerous elements that come from other holidays, things happening in Thanksgiving or on Christmas. It has nothing to do with the Druids. It's not ancient. It's not in antiquity, right? This is not BCE, right? This is a thoroughly modern 20th century phenomenon. Kids want to just, act the fool and get some candy. That's what this is about. And trying to figure out how we can take all that energy and make it to a more mainstream, wholesome activity. That's it. That's where it comes from. That's really it. Trick or treating. First time we heard about it is in Canada. Coming from various occasions and festivals throughout Christmas in New York, or Christmas and Thanksgiving in New York. And Halloween was a way to get these rowdy kids to have fun, but not be in so much trouble. That's what trick or treating is, and that's what it is today, right? For the most part, kids dress up as, I don't know, Captain America, or Powerpuff Girls, or maybe it's their favorite anime character, and they go to door to get candy from the neighbors. And and maybe every once in a while try to scare each other if they have a scary costume. That's it. That's all this is. That's all trick or treating is. All right. So when people talk about how Halloween is pagan or trick or treat is pagan, please feel free to share this video. That really explains the origin and the timeline of how we got to trick or treating. And it has nothing to do with druids. It's not spooky. It's not occultish. It's rowdy kids wanting candy. That's what it really is. All right. So, with that being said, man, I told you I was going to keep it short. I'll holler you guys later. This is BK signing off. Peace.